Today, we talk about
What's the biggest plane you ever flew? Or what's the fastest you've ever gone to?
Not that. So the plane I fly in the Air Force is called the C-130, and it's a propeller plane. It's like, have you ever seen like Navy SEALs jump out of?
Yeah.
That's the plane.
How far does that go? Like 12,000 feet?
It's we can go up to, I think, like 29,000 is like but we don't.
Yeah.
We actually fly super low. We fly really low.
Yeah.
But just because we do like
Well,
airdrop.
people are jumping out, yeah.
Yeah.
Or airdrops.
But then in training I flew a beach. It's called a T1, but it's a Beechcraft 400. It's just a little like corporate jet, and that went to like 400 something knots. But there was a plane the other day, like a commercial airline was like 800 something. Like they got a record for like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because the wind was so strong. Like for that type of plane, it was the fastest ground speed it's ever seen.
Well, how fast can planes go? Is it 800? That's got to be near the top, right?
So it's actually so there's a difference between ground speed and air speed, which is because if you're in a car and you have 30 miles an hour
The wind resistance
for wind.
stuff?
If you have 30 miles an hour wind behind you, you stick your hand out the car, you feel the wind behind you, right? But if you're driving 60 miles per hour forward, you feel now 30 miles an hour wind hitting you this way. Okay? So now if that's a tailwind, you're going through your ground speed is faster, but your air speed is
A little slower. Yeah.
Anyway, most planes are limited by the sound barrier. So Mach 1.
Oh, because you're going through the air, because the air is a resistance a little. Is that why?
Yeah,
so you're shooting through the air, so the ground speed you're going this fast, but you're slowed by the air.
You're slowed by the air. And
Yeah,
then if
so-
it's the opposite, if you have opposite tailwind, which is what makes you go really fast, like that's why they broke it. They had like
'Cause the
159. So they have you pushing it, but that air is pushing backwards over
helping
the
out,
wing.
yeah.
So it's able to go faster over the ground.
so how do you go from Mach 1 to Mach 2, Mach 3?
So the biggest thing that keeps, and actually I'm not.
You're not a physicist.
I'm not an expert on this. I
just fly.
obviously I'm not an expert.
I just wait for the
There's
thing
gonna be
to
a
turn
real.
red.
There's gonna be a pilot who does this that is gonna say I'm a fucking idiot.
Well,
But
pilots are not watching
but
this page.
it has something to do. A lot of it has something to do with the structural integrity of the plane. It's not that we can't make engines push us faster, but once you get past. So you're building up friction as you fly faster and faster,
Yeah.
right? So at some point it becomes a structural problem with the plane. And
Keeping it together.
yeah, and so when you break the sound barrier, they get something called Mach tuck, which like pushes the plane down, and a lot of planes would break. Something really good about planes that I help people let people if they're scared of flying. One, engines now are so great. Those if you're flying on a plane, a commercial airliner, and it has two engines, that plane can easily fly on one engine all day, no problem. The other thing is too, like the wings, they'll feel like a little bouncing around, and they'll get like scared from that. Like they've taken those wings and like they'll bend them upwards,
That would be great to see.
and they
It's just about like, wait, what the fuck?
That'd be
Yeah.
a great YouTube video.
but I think they do. I think they do have a
Pilot pranks passengers. Bend them.
They have these like carbon fiber wings now where they like took them, and it's like this was in a hangar that they and they just took the wings and brought them up, and like it wasn't until they got to they almost touched before the wings
They
actually
cracked.
broke. So it's like those things can. So if you see the wings like bouncing a little bit, like it's not a. It's
But
not
those wings are only available on Southwest, right?
Yeah.
I used to have a huge fear of flying until like 6 months ago.
Yeah, this dude was a big
I think
wuss.
What happened 6 months ago?
I just did it enough where I was kind of like more chill with it.
Now, you read
I
a
always-
book or something? Or?
I did read a book that
Yeah.
helped me out with it.
Yeah.
But it really what helped me out was like mentally. I was like, well, the pilot probably doesn't want to die, so he's back control. Like I don't even like being in the backseat of a car. It makes me nervous.
It's
Like you're just back there and you're like, okay, what the hell's going on? And like when you start going through turbulence or stuff and randomly, I'm like, why the hell did you avoid this? Like, what are you doing up there? So yeah, it's more of a control thing. But yeah, I used to be wicked scared. I used to have dreams all the time of dying in plane crashes. I think it'd be the worst way to go if it just started dropping out of the air, which doesn't happen. I know. Like
Yeah,
most
but
crashes are landing.
Why would
at
that be
top.
the worst?
Because you're gonna be with all these random people who also paid fucking coach, and everybody's gonna be screaming, and everybody's gonna be like coming like to terms with their own death, and nobody's gonna be like, yeah, I'm trying to come to terms with mine too. Shut the hell up.
You think about this
That's why
way more than I
you're
ever.
supposed to come to terms now. Figure it out.
I know, yeah, no, that's why I would be sitting there being like a zen. I'd be like, just fucking kill me.
But
then some old lady's gonna be like, ah, and I'm like, I know, this sucks. Figure your shit out. I don't know, because it feels like a group death. It just feels like it'd be like the
The
worst
fact
thing
that
in the
you
world.
took your thought that far with it is like I've never even entertained any of that. Like, it's,
I think you'll like flying because again,
Yeah,
it's like
put you in control.
Yeah, put you in control. Yeah.
I've always, yeah. Well,
Do you fly coach out to Iowa, or are you first class?
oh fuck yeah, I do, coach. Well, I mean, I don't pay for the flights. It's just whatever they.
He
give
goes,
me. But I mean,
he goes in the baggage.
yeah. But coach and first
there with his
class in those flights is literally just
Yeah.
a matter of location
Yes,
on the
yes,
plane. It's, like,
yeah.
it's not a big deal.
a little
Yeah, you get a little bit more leg room, but we're going to be there in 5 hours.
That is why I always want to fly though, because I'm so scared of it, and I was like, I feel like if I could like see how it works, I would like it way more.
Yeah. It's
Like understand it. Because yeah, I like who am I? Like I wanted to be up there, like look at the pilots, like. What's that mean? Sure you're okay here? He'd be like, dude, I've been doing this for 20 years. I'd be like,
What,
yeah.
Soul Plane didn't do it for you?
You've never thought about dying in a plane?
No.
A group death?
I think about dying all the time in a plane, and
Really?
if I'm not flying, when
Oh,
I'm
if you're not
faster,
flying, okay.
if I'm flying, I never think about it.
Yeah.
I see.
But if I'm in the back, I always wonder if it was like if in the crash, like as the plane is like impacting
Would I
the
make
ground. No. I'm not. You're not gonna make it. But
Flight!
yeah, right. You're gonna flip it upside down.
You're going to jump out right at the last second.
Jump up!
He's like pulling all these like knobs and switches in there that don't exist either. He's like, the flux capacitor.
Alright.
But
Blam.
I always wonder if, like, as the plane is hitting and crashing, and this could be like for a car accident too, but is there like a second before you die where you like feel like the seat like come into your face
Yeah,
and
we're
like
not- yeah,
smush
oh, yeah.
your head
Oh,
together?
oh.
Is
You
there,
guys have thought about
do you
this
feel
way
yourself
more.
dying for
Right.
like half a
Like,
second?
would you, yeah,
Or
would
is
you
it just
be,
so
like,
quick that-
dismembered
Yeah.
to the point where, like, you have to wait, like, a minute for, like, your vital organs to
Oh,
stop,
yeah.
where, like, I don't have a face anymore. And
Or-
then, like, your brain's still working, and it's like, now I have to register, like, not only am I, like, I'm not coming back from this, and I have a minute to lay here and die.
Actually, that is an interesting question because you hear about those disastrous plane
They call
crashes.
16-year-olds.
Those disastrous plane crashes where like 1 or 2 survivors, but everyone else dies. I wonder what their experience is like.
It'd be amazing. I'd have the biggest dick in the
Amazing.
world. If I lived, I'd be like,
Or it could give you
I know, you
insane
would just-
PTSD forever.
no, I think you'd feel like the man. Because it's not your problem. PTSD usually stems from
you could never get
Now
back
I'm
on a
talking-
plane.
Now I'm talking outside my.
You are
my
definitely
belief.
sorry, so you would definitely have like
You'd be like, why did I live?
yeah.
I'd still feel like
And
you'd
you
have
would
a
live
little
with
bit
that
of a
forever.
That's
You'd be
trauma.
like, yeah. And then could you ever get back on a plane? You know?
Which
Because
is, I wouldn't pay. I'd be like, yo, Southwest, I'm literally flying
where's
everywhere
my
for
life
free
membership
now.
card,
I'm never paying for a plane again.
speaking of the
Maybe you go to
military,
London to Southwest. No, I'm not going to London.
speaking of the military too, I remember. So I used to do rotations at the VA hospital.
He's like, I was a
locally.
Marine.
Yeah.
I'm 48.
Yeah. And I remember doing a rotation at this VA hospital. One of my first days at the VA hospital, I get on an elevator, and there's a guy already in the elevator, a veteran. And he's in the back of the elevator. I get on, no big deal. The next floor up.
Just drive the elevator.
No.
It's a big deal for him.
Next floor up, a bunch of people get into the elevator.
Yeah.
And the dude out of nowhere, he was quiet the whole time. Out of nowhere, he just said, no. And he just like shoves everyone out the way and just beelines it out. And then the door closed. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And someone was like, he probably has some PTSD from, whatever. Like
Sure.
Some people are scared of elevators. I know a lot of people that are.
That's
I'm
fine,
gonna
but-
steer this environment. No, but I mean that's probably why he was like, I'm getting off.
No, I
Not
think it was
necessarily
more the
PTSD.
military exposure he had to like some closed group of veterans who
Oh, yeah.
then some bomb went off and then some PTSD. So like the same thing could happen with a plane,